All right. It is official. Sid wants to leave. Which means it is time for the nuclear option. And we are going to blow up this team to fucking smithereens. Honestly, we might as well hold on to Blomqvist and Dustin Wolf for the rest of the season. There's really no reason not to. There's not a ton of trade value there. Nor is there a ton of value with Caden Primo. Like, we might as well just keep Blomqvist for the next year or two and let him get shelled every night. Or we could get rid of Blomqvist and wait for Scrimes to be ready. As much as I was hoping for Blomqvist to be decent, I think that's our best option. We'll just run with Wolf and Primo for the rest of the year. So I'm going to have no limitations on the amount of trades I can make. I'm blowing this team the fuck up. It is time for ye old nuclear option. And we will see what we can look like, or what we can look at here. But I am going to move on from Blomqvist because he's going to want money at the end of this season. And if I can find somebody to take him, then we'll get rid of him. Might even have to look at a draft pick. I was going to say, is there a team that needs another goalie here? Honestly, I mean, Calgary could take on Markstrom for the last year of his deal. The problem is they don't want to give up anything good. Like, I get that you don't want to give up much for Markstrom, but fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. Like, you got to give up something. You got to give up something. Not willing to do it, though. Chicago, Colorado. Do either of you two need a goalie? Chicago definitely needs a goalie. So does Colorado. Neither are willing to give up that much, though. Again, AI just refused to move their picks. Chicago is not that good, though. So maybe, just maybe, we send Blomqvist their way. It's a Western Conference team. Again, normally the rules are that I'm not allowed to get more than one pick back in a trade, but again, we're going nuclear here, so I'm going to try to tag on a third and see if that goes through. It won't. Even if it's just a second for Blomqvist, we'll take it. Did I make a page for the custom rosters here? I did not, but I will have a video out talking about them soon. Fucking really. Whatever. We're getting rid of Blomqvist. We'll acquire a second-round pick from Chicago to do it. Blomqvist, I'm sorry, like, you've been okay, but I do not have the confidence in you, or do I? Fuck. You know, he'll be an RFA. I can trade him at the draft. If that's the best I can get for him, I'll hold on to him. But again, like, he's probably not the guy. Wolf and Primo are gone at the end of the year, and there's really no trade value there. Defensively, I don't know what to do with Marino and Joseph. I really don't. Joseph's only 25, but he has that big money deal. Both of them can be traded. Zach Jones hasn't exactly turned into that point-producing defenseman that I would have thought that he could be. You know? Nate Schmidt's definitely gone. I don't know if I can pair him with anybody, but at this point, we're going to have to look. So Boston, not looking to get rid of anybody that we'd want. Colorado, nobody. We might not be able to even pull the plug here yet because a lot of teams I don't think have their trade blocks set up for the deadline. You know? Like, a lot of teams aren't even looking to move prospects yet. Like Emil Vero from the Kings. They're willing to move a draft pick. I guess we can do that. Yeah, they are. Let's see if we can get Emil Vero in exchange for Nate Schmidt. God, they have 3 second-rounders. Jesus. We could use the deadline option, but the problem is we're bad enough that I need to blow up this team now so that we don't win too many games. Like right now we need to, you know, prioritize the idea of winning the lottery and having the best odds to do that. So we have sent Nate Schmidt to the LA Kings and acquired defensive prospect Emil Vero. That is our first deal. Aside from trading Nate Schmidt, I mean, you look at guys that have value. I mean, again, we have to make that decision on Joseph and Marino. That right-hand side, Phil Kessel, we got to send Phil to a contender. He's not going to win here, so we have to do right by Phil Kessel. Let's go back to the start. Again, there was no limitations on where we can trade Phil, but we'll try to send him to a place that might actually give us a return. Buffalo's not looking that good, but they do have Isaac Rosen and JJ Peterka. The Peterka on the block. Send Kessel to Toronto. Well, we'll see what they're offering. We'll see what they're offering. Florida has nobody. That's a good guy. I love Phil Kessel as much as the next guy. We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to give Phil a chance to spread his luxurious wings and fly. Wow, Ottawa's getting rid of Dalibor, Dvorsky, and Robbie Arventi, and Ridley Gregg. I mean, sending Phil Kessel to Ottawa makes a lot of sense. Dolby Niemela's there for Tampa. Toronto doesn't want him, but they do have Tommy Pope, who looks damn good on the block. I'm okay with sending Phil Kessel back to Toronto if they are. We can do the 1-for-1. You can do the 1-for-1. Are they interested in Kessel for Pope? Yes, they are. So we send Phil Kessel back to Toronto in exchange for defensive prospect Tommy Pope. So we send Phil home. Jason Zucker has a 10-team no-trade list. Honestly, Zucker hasn't been that bad, but he's 33. And we have to move on from Jason Zucker. We have to. I don't want to. Again, he's fine. But he's no longer a part of our window. Buffalo makes a lot of sense with Isaac Rosen. Not that I want to, again, just take away all the top prospects from other teams, but this is the nuclear option. So right now, Buffalo is very interesting. Ottawa as well is very, very interesting for who they're looking to give up. Sens do have interest as well. I think we'd be a fool to not go after the options that the Sens are providing. Sabres as well, to be honest. The Sens likely aren't a bottom 10 team. I will double check. Although, to be honest, let's just say fuck it, because I'm sure he wants to be on a winning team, and they'll have a better chance than we will with him being on their team. It is the nuclear option that we get to blow this team the fuck up. We found success, just not as much as I thought we would. Honestly, Zucker might not be going on his own. Zucker might not be going on his own. This could be where we deal Evgeny Malkin. Or Matt Duchene. Matt Duchene back to Ottawa. I'm here for it if they are. And then Malkin and Crosby will be the last two trades, as much as that's going to absolutely suck. Let's see. If we go for Dvorsky, we go for Yarventi and Ridley Gregg. I don't really want T-Mander, but fuck it, we could go for him too. Ottawa would be over the cap. We can afford to retain on Matt Duchene, let's be honest, we really have to. Retaining on Duchene makes a lot of sense because we're going to have trouble being over the floor. Still, it would be too much. Is there anybody that I can add to the deal? that has a decent cap hit. Brett Kulak's deal. Jesus Christ. What the hell is he doing making that much money? Then we'd have too many skaters. What if I also retain on Jason Zucker? I mean, both guys' deals are up at the end of the year, so that's still not enough. Wow. Okay. So it's just the fact that Duchesne's contract is kind of rough. So we won't completely rob them of prospects. We'll take out T-Mander and, again, see if there was anybody whose deal makes sense. Brett Kulak. All right, so Kulak makes it work. So basically the crux of this is picking up this trio of prospects they don't want to help their chance of winning a cup. But obviously you can tell the value isn't quite there. Maybe, just maybe, we send Evgeny Malkin north of the border as well. Malkin, Duchesne, and Zucker all go to Ottawa. We get a trio of prospects back. The Sens get what they want. They clearly want to compete. We'd have to add a little bit more to make it happen, but I think this is worth it. And then it's a question of where the hell does Sidney Crosby go now that he wants to leave. Third rounder wasn't enough. I'd be willing to... I mean, God, the question... Like, cap-wise, they won't have space for the likes of Marino and Joseph. And I still don't quite know what I want to do with those two either. Crosby with Colorado is what I'm leaning towards, to send him over with McKinnon and to give him a chance to win, for sure. It sucks because we shouldn't be in this position. We shouldn't be in this position. But for whatever reason, this team just couldn't quite be where they needed to be. I'm willing to offer 2/3. Zucker, Duchesne, Malkin, and 2/3 for Dvorsky, Yarventi, Grigg, and Kulak. And they do it, but they'd have to put Malkin on waivers. So if I take back another cheap-ass forward that's on their roster, on the NHL roster, at least, is their lowest rated forward on that roster. They actually have a lot of good players, but Sokolov would make a lot of sense. Sokolov seems to be the guy, so they wouldn't have to put him on waivers. Damn it. All right, we're asking for a little bit too much. Between Dvorsky, Arventi, and Greg, what do we have here? Dvorsky's kind of the crux of the deal, and obviously we'd rather have Yarventi than Greg. So at the very least, those two. We do still have to add Gino to this deal. It's his value that kind of makes it. If they're willing to do that, I'm willing to do it too. We send them 3 roster players. They clearly want to be contenders. We take on 2 of their better prospects. We also take away Kulak's contract. Are they willing to do it? No, they're not. They'd still have to put Malkin on waivers. Son of a bitch. So again, in terms of... well, actually, shit. That's just centers then. In terms of OVR, I mean, Nick Paul is there. The problem is Tierney's in the minors. What if you take on Nick Paul? Because he's on an expiring deal. And then that's not enough. Sid, hello. How are we? We'll add in a third. 2/3, I guess. Ottawa's being a real pain to have to put this deal through. All right. We take Malkin out of the equation. We trade Zucker. We trade Duchesne. Take on Dvorsky or Aventi. I doubt we get there on its own. And Ottawa would be over the cap. Oh, Sid, it's not. We're blowing it the hell up. We're actually dead last in our division. So it has been a disaster. A disaster of a season. Still take back Brett Kulak in the deal. Honestly, I think it's going to have to be Malkin over the likes of Zucker or Duchesne. Because Malkin has more value. So we'll drop Jason Zucker from the equation. And we'll see what they think about this. him another third. You'd think the retained salary for Duchesne would help us out. My God. What if we had a fourth as well? Son of a bitch, we might have to choose. We might have to choose here. The problem is with Kulak, like, he has the cap space, but he's not exactly in negative value. Having to put more thought into these trades than I was hoping. I was hoping to just rip the Band-Aid off. I'm willing to give up McMuffin, because it wasn't even ours to begin with. He was a random free agent. I gotta be honest, I don't really like having a player named McMuffin. So Duchesne, Malkin, McMuffin for Dvorsky, Arventi, and Kulak. Still not enough. We'll go for the draft picks from there. Third rounder from Columbus. Still not enough, but it's close. And we're going with a fourth. We're gonna send Duchesne back to Ottawa, but he gets to go with Evgeny Malkin. It's official. Duchesne on 50% salary. Malkin, McMuffin, a third and a fourth for Dalibor Dvorsky, Robbie Arventi, and Brett Kulak. Malkin is off the team. I hate this. I hate this so much. And now we go to Buffalo, which will be the landing spot for Jason Zucker, because again, I'm going to ignore the rules for now with our nuclear option. And for Mr. Zucker, I would like to try to acquire one Mr. Isaac Rosen. And we'll see if I have the assets to do that. Honestly, I need to keep Brett Kulak. What if we use the sign-in in the deal? Because he was a free agent signing. That would be too many. Too many peeps. Definitely not giving up Sam Aremba. He's going to be good sooner rather than later. Don't want to give up Garcia. We can give up Dillman, who wasn't that good. We can also give up Sakic to try to push this over the edge. And they'd have to put Yoki Haru on waivers, otherwise they'd do it. So I don't know why they'd have to put Yoki Haru on waivers, of all people. He's one of their... He's like an okay defenseman for them. What if I take on Alex Martinez for the rest of the year? Yeah, see, the problem is then the value goes way the hell up. There's got to be somebody that I can take. I don't see why they'd have to send down a defender. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, yeah, now I can. Because they backed themselves into a corner. Fuck it, what if we just take on Yoki Haru? I can still retain on Jason Zucker, which I'm willing to do. And let's see how close we can get this deal. Again, willing to give up picks next year. We have a third rounder. Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen under investigation. Interesting. Zucker, Dillman, Sakic, and a third for Rosen and Yoki Haru. Still no. Again, I'm willing to give up these lesser draft picks because we're also recouping prospects in the deals. We got a deal. So it's going to be Jason Zucker, 2/3, and 2 decent prospects for Isaac Rosen. We'll also take on Henry Yoki Haru in the deal, but it's mainly Isaac Rosen that we want. That is a done deal with the Buffalo Sabres as we continue to blow this team to fucking smithereens. That is the best way to explain it. We'll send Emil Viro down. This is wild. No, wow, but this is the Penguins. How are you, buddy? It's Marino Joseph, McIsaac Jones, Kulak, Salmonson, Yoki Haru. Oh my god, I don't know what we're going to do here. I don't know what we're going to do. I do know that we have officially one more trade. And in our system, it's because he essentially requested it. The Sidney Crosby era in Pittsburgh has come to a close. But I don't think I'm ready to pull off that Band-Aid quite yet. Crosby to Boston, courtesy of Fenway Group, right? I still don't know what to do about Marino and Joseph because, I mean, they're 25 and 27 respectively. And then we have other issues to sort out here in terms of now having way too many goddamn defensemen. Honestly, I really like Chandler Stevenson too, but he's 30 years old and it makes sense to get rid of him. I can't get rid of Kessel. Again, he's got that 3-year no movement clause, so I can't get rid of Kessel, but let's see where Chandler Stevenson can potentially go. That might have a decent little return for us, or at the very least, we just take back draft picks. This might be where we recoup. Crosby, right. It's funny that you think that value is there. It's funny that you think that value is there. There was a guy on Nashville by the name of Danner. That could be decent. I don't believe I'm allowed to retain on Stevenson now. If I am, we'll do it. But get back another defensive prospect. Maybe even a second rounder in this deal for Chandler Stevenson. You'd have to put Blake Wheeler on waivers. Oh yeah, no, not Blake Wheeler. Oh no. You're not even fucking playing him. Not Blake Wheeler. Oh good, I could take back Kasperi Kapanen. Here, what if I take Kapanen back? Done deal. So Chandler Stevenson to Nashville for Kasperi Kapanen, a prospect of the pick. As we continue to blow this shit to smithereens, again with our nuclear option of blowing this shit to smithereens. So, again, Kessel we hold on to, but Crosby's on the way out. Kapanen's likely going to be flipped at the deadline. There's actually a couple of people that we've acquired here that I do want to flip at the deadline, but it is time. I didn't want it to come to this at all. If he hits the market, we'll bring him back, maybe. But we spun the wheel. And Sidney Crosby is out. And I will indeed try to send him to the Colorado Avalanche to play with Nathan McKinnon. I will indeed. Unless there is a single team that is willing to trade their first. But the odds of that is incredibly slim because nobody ever wants to trade their fucking first round pick, and it's fucking stupid, EA. Jesus Christ. Like, I try to defend you as much as I can, but there are some things about franchise mode and GM logic that are just indefensible. And not a single team wanting to trade their first round pick 3 weeks before the deadline is indefensible. Let's see what we can do with Sid here. The problem is Colorado has nobody here that's going to be easy to acquire. Unless they're willing to give up Olesen, who they don't want to trade anymore. And obviously the return for Sidney Crosby is never going to be great. There is a guy by the name of Desbiens, who's also not bad. So I doubt Olesen and Desbiens will help, but we'll do what we got to do. Let's try to add Justin Almeida to the deal. And honestly, Ryan McGregor could help. Beat over the cap. Get rid of Almeida, have McGregor, son of a bitch. I, again, don't think I can retain unless retention is brutal. Montreal is the worst team in the league. At least they were at this season. So I'm doing them a favor, sending them to Colorado. Yeah, see, I would have too many players with retained salary. Alright. So we have Crosby. It can't be McGregor. It's got to be somebody with, like, bare minimum salary. I don't really want it to be Philip Kral. What about McCleary? God, so they are that close up against the cap, huh? If I take back Sampo Ranta, I guarantee I'm going to get something about somebody having to be on waivers, and it's going to be stupid as shit. Use McCleary. Let's also use Ryan McGregor again. Yeah, I actually don't think I can trade him to Colorado. It's too pricey. It's just too pricey. Big Ted on the prime, unless I take back Darcy Kemper's god-awful deal. Maybe that's what we'll do, is take back Darcy Kemper's god-awful contract. And, I can add Blomqvist to the deal. I could add Dustin Wolf. Maybe Caden Primo's enough. Just sim a couple days. I'm tempted, but to be honest, I don't. Again, I want Sid off the team as fast as possible. There we go. So it's Crosby, Primo, and Almeida. We take on Darcy Kemper. I want to pick up Dabian or Lawson, if not both. I think I'd rather have Dabian and get a draft pick. The return for Sidney Crosby will never be good enough. I am going to get more than one pick back. I'm going to safety net this bad boy. If we're going nuclear option, we're going nuclear. It is Crosby, Primo, and Almeida for Dabian, Kemper, 2 seconds and a third. They'd take it, but they'd have to put Patrick Nemeth on waivers. You're getting Sidney fucking Crosby. Patrick Nemeth doesn't fucking matter. Jesus. Alright, I'll take on Patrick Nemeth too, sure. Whose value is fucking sky high. Jesus. Whatever, I'll try to find a way to take on Patrick Nemeth as well. Whatever, just give me Dabian. He's the guy that I want. We'll just go through. No, it won't. Do I have anybody else that I can add? See about Stone. We'll have to go with a draft pick here too. So there goes my chance of getting rid of draft picks. We'll add a third. Will that work? Quite far off. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. What about that second rounder from Nashville that we picked up? Crosby, Primo, Almeida, the second for Dabian, Kemper, and Nemeth. How the fuck am I still quite... This, again, is why I don't deal... This is on easy, by the way. This is why I don't deal with teams that don't want to give up assets. Like, this is ridiculous. What a pain in the ass. What an absolute pain in the ass this is turning into, and I knew it would be. That's why I didn't want to do it. Crosby and Almeida for Nemeth and Dabian. I swear to God, how much value am I going to have to give up here? We'll give up our third this year. Quite far off in value because they don't want to give up Nemeth. All right, well, the Sid to Colorado dream is done. Let's go for Montreal. Montreal's fucking terrible, but we'll try the sending Sid back to Montreal deal because this is fucking ridiculous. And I guess the question is there anybody that I'm gonna want? Fantilli's a bit out of the question. They ended up with Fabian Lysell. They ended up with Isaac Howard. Fucking take on Logan Mailloux. Let's go. There's Norlander, there's Kapanen. I'm trying to look at who is more likely for us to actually be able to acquire. There is Maxime Blouin. He's not bad. He's got a good shot. Well, let Sid play for his boyhood club. Fuck it. Let's see if we can get that Bruins second rounder. Actually, we're going to want the Habs second rounder. Can we send Crosby to Montreal for a pick and a prospect? Montreal would have more skating. Cool. Well, we could add somebody else here then. Let's add fucking this dude, his name. I can never fucking Jack-Eye, whatever the hell it is. Will that go through? It would. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. We'll send Sid to Montreal. And maybe he retires. But I'm going to do it. There's really not a better option out there. The Sidney Crosby era in Pittsburgh is officially over. Much to my chagrin. But the Crosby era in Pittsburgh is officially over. I didn't want that to happen, but that's where we're at. The problem now... It's not Maxi, man. No, did you not hear the way I fucking pronounce blue? Nick. I was being sarcastic. Jesus. Yeah, this is the Fenway Sports Group influence. We need bad contracts here really quickly. Anybody looking to get rid of bad contracts? Because I am officially under the cap. And for bad contracts, I mean, I need cap for not much fucking money. That would be great. Or for not much value. But unfortunately, they're just like, yeah, no, fine, these guys are still worth a shitload. Nick, no, you're not. Don't lie. Like, even Jeff Skinner has some fucking value at this point. Like, I'm looking for someone that's making a shitload of money, but is very, very cheap to acquire. Fortunately, that doesn't describe many people. Brock McGinn, baby! Can we bring back Brock McGinn? Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I don't know how the hell we're gonna make it happen, because I don't have the fucking assets to even make it happen. I need to hold on to Kasperi Kapanen for the cap hit. Like, I don't have the value to bring anybody in. Fuck. Alright, I'm gonna back out really quickly, because it seemingly has boosted me back up. Am I okay? Maybe all it had to do was call up somebody? I don't know. Because I think it's bugging out, because before I went to propose trade, it said we were way under, then it said we were over, and now it's saying we're fine. So maybe it reassigned certain contracts. I don't know. But looking at the team then, am I allowed to call up Caden Primo? Not yet. Defensively, holy shit. How many trades can you make? That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we're doing. Right, so Jack-Eye, Danner, we're going to send you two down. Nope, now I'd be under the salary cap. Okay, I need a team that has roster spots. Like Boston. I need to just send them whoever so that I have room on the roster to sign a cap whale. Can I give you Justin Almeida for a 7th? I don't even care. Give me a 5th. Jesus. Okay, fine. Give me the 7th then. You gotta be fucking joking me. Take a 7th back. This is ridiculous how fucking dumb the trade system is in this game now, too. There we go. Almeida and a 6th for a 7th. That gives us a roster spot to sign a cap whale for the season. And it's still showing us on 50, which isn't correct, but whatever. And congratulations to Keith. Good old Keith. You're going to be my cap whale, and hopefully it'll actually let me sign you, and it won't be stupid. How many times have I been to the playoffs? Depends. Once. There's David Camp is there, but I have to decline that. As we lose to Nashville. Keith Yandel signs. All right. So now we should have maneuverability to set up our roster for the rest of the season. Again, we will send down Jack-Eye and Danner. We have 8 defensemen on roster. Again, some of these guys I absolutely want to flip off of this team. Like Kulak and Yoki Haru. And then I still don't know what to do with Marino and Joseph. Forward-wise, I'd love to also get Kasperi Kapanen off of this team. That way we have more room for some of our younger guys for the rest of the season. So we might actually use the old find a trade feature for the first time. And is there anybody that wants a Yoki Haru? Nyquist and a 4th. Nyquist wouldn't be too bad to take. He's a hell of a cap whale. Englund a 3rd and a 4th. Ritchie a 3rd and a 4th. Femis a 4th and a 5th from Florida. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Denis Jilkin. So looking at your roster on YouTube as one of my AHL players are rated so low because they should be. P.O. Joseph Marino with the draft. I mean, that's probably the better move, yeah. McCollum and Erskine, Antropov, a 4th and a 5th, a 2nd, Christian Dvorak, 2 forwards. Remember when we considered saving Christian Dvorak? Yeah, honestly, I can wait until the deadline if we want to actually have the deadline be a day. I don't have to trade these guys now. We can wait until deadline day to actually move them. That's fine. That is fine by me, so long as it doesn't put me under in terms of cap space again. So our forwards, we have 10, 11, and we don't even have a 12th forward right now. So congratulations to Svechkov. Let's give you a chance. I want to send probably Isaac Rosen down, but let's see who we have here. Out of these 12, who fits and who doesn't? It's kind of what we're looking at, because this entire organization has been completely flipped on its head. So Kamel has to be on the right, Rosen would have to be on the right, Clark has to be on the right. Is there anybody else who has to absolutely play where they are? Kapanen also has to be on the right. All of our centers except Svechkov can be elsewhere. Alright, I mean, honestly, this works. In terms of where people are. Might as well just play Kasperi Kapanen on the top line to shelter him. We'll play McGregor and Hirvonen on the top line to shelter them as well. Whoops, didn't mean to turn that up. Gensel's fine, Poulin's fine, and then Yarventi and Fortier can stay. So those will be the lines for the moment, just until the deadline, to keep us in this. And then, yeah, Yoki Haru can play instead of Berglund. Left-hand side, we don't need Kulak. So yeah, we'll just go with those for the lines for now. Cool. That's where we're at. And the AHL's where it is as well. Only thing with the AHL is take out Caden Primo for Schnattinger. So let's get to the deadline then. I mean, again, this is phase 2, right? Like, we knew this was coming, where we would eventually hit the point that we moved on from the faces of the organization, and we're at that point now. It is much sooner than I was hoping for, but it's where we're at, and we'll do the best we can with it now moving forward. Again, 4 seasons in, and we've hit phase 2. Dylan, just on NHL.com, they have that info out there. Just sign a cap whale for the deadline. I'm going to have to make another trade and sign at least one more cap whale, but yeah, so see, now you notice with some of these major losses as to why I wanted to move on from everybody right then and there. Like, we're increasing our chances of winning this draft lottery. Just the best thing we can do is just outright tank. So in terms of the cap, it shows this as being pretty close up against it, so we should be okay to make moves. Let's go to the deadline. For the first time, we'll actually take part in the deadline. And we'll see what the hell happens. We will see what the hell happens. So we will enter the deadline. And Sebastian Aho is available. We will use the trade finder. And we will look to move on from certain people. Can I get anything for Caden Primo? Yes, I can. 7th round pick, we'll send him back to Montreal. He can go. He was a disaster for us. We'll keep Blomqvist and Dustin Wolf for this season. Makes a lot of sense to do that. Defensively, I don't know what to do with Marino and Joseph, so I do agree with the idea. Let's hold on to them until the draft, and then look to make a move with them if we're going to do that. But for now, Yoki Haru, 2nd or 3rd.
Okay, but here comes
Honestly, now, as Ace Boy hits us up with the 35 months.
Highly unnecessary.
That with the Patriots jacket, and of course,
thank you very much,
to
sir.
leave the ball game for ruining a good piece of pizza.
So a 2nd and a 3rd seems to be the best we can get, or we go for an already established prospect like McCollum or Femis. Draft picks versus guarantee. I would rather have the guarantee because, again, we don't have any goddamn scouts. There was also Reedy on San Jose. All right. So it is either Well, let's take a look at Winnipeg here with Cohen Zemmer. So Zemmer, whatever it is, he is a 75 at 20 years old. So there is a deal that happened. I'm not going to be able to read it. The Sharks trade for me, so I won't even be able to get him now. Who the hell were the Sharks giving up? It was Reedy, who is an 80 at 25, so fuck that. And then Florida, they were giving up McCollum, who's a 74 at 19. So it was 74 at 19 versus 75 at 20. So either way, as Brent Burns has been dealt, again, we'll recap all those deals at the end. But we are going to move Yoki Haru here. And I would rather take the guarantee. Florida's deal has been retracted. So we are going to look for Cohen Zemmer, a 4th and a 5th from the Winnipeg Jets. So we'll deal Yoki Haru there. And again, pretty much our rules are back on immediately after this, but like I said, I gave myself the one nuclear option to blow this team the fuck up and ignore the rules to do it, for the sake of time. That's what we're doing. Brett Kulak, 2nd and a 3rd. 2nd and a 3rd seems to be a pretty good deal. Could acquire 2 4ths and then flip Dvorak, but it's too risky. We don't know if anyone would want Dvorak. Shit, Montreal doesn't want Dvorak. We'll take a 2nd and a 3rd from Anaheim along with some trash bag. It's one of the worst dudes I've ever seen that happens to be under contract. Toronto's guy. Toronto's guy hasn't even signed yet. We'll take that deal and send Brett Kulak to Toronto. So again, some of these guys were just tack-ons or not. What? Did the deal not go through? I'm so confused. I literally just traded him. What are you talking about? Unless they... Oh, wow, they moved the 3rd in a deal with Buffalo right as I did it. Sons of bitches. Are you kidding me? What are the odds of that? They moved a pick that was involved in the deal right as I hit the button. Jesus. Well, that 2nd and a 3rd from Anaheim might just have to be the deal. Yeah, we'll have to take that deal from Anaheim. It's fine by me. To be honest, I'm going to edit it. I don't want that trash bag. Unless they have to do it. Fuck, they have to do it. Alright. Yeah, fuck it. Give me the trash bag. Whatever. There we go. We'll deal Brett Kulak to Anaheim. And then defensively as well. I think that was it for now. As we're going to try to figure out that entire mess of a situation with our defense. Kasperi Kapanen, I certainly don't want you on this team. Again, Vidicek or Zinger. It's up to us. But Kapanen's going to LA. It's just a matter for who. And definitely Vidicek. Zinger's trash. So, Cappy, have fun in LA. Get the hell off of my team. And we look good from there. We look okay from there. And then centers... There is basically no one to move. Can I move the trash bag from Anaheim? Oh my god, I can. I'll take a 6th from Minnesota. How the hell did that guy have any value? So I think that's it. I mean, again, we just have now a log jam of players, and we're gonna have to wait and see who makes the team and who doesn't. That's pretty much all we got. But I think we're done at this particular deadline. The Marino possible move, the P.O. Joseph decision. We'll see what happens down the road. Again, we'll recap all of these trades. But needless to say, our goals for the season are fucked too. Up to you guys what we do in the form of a punishment. Obviously, we'll decide that in a little bit. But at this point, it's like, Jesus, haven't we been punished enough? Like, what the hell could the punishment even be? That's the real question. What could the punishment even be? But Cassian moved to Nashville. Dadonov to Winnipeg. Trading Crosby was the punishment, right? Justin Hall was dealt for a 1st. Love to see it. Jake Muzzin to Arizona from Montreal. Nugent Hopkins for Justin Falk. Edmonton, baby, what are you doing? It was Nugent Hopkins in a second, by the way. What the fuck? They must have tanked Nugent's value. Nick Jensen for a first. Oh, and everyone else will trade first, though, just not for me. They just don't want to put it on the block, but they'll trade the first. Milachari, Nyquist, Martinez moved. Colin Miller to Ottawa. Victor Olofsson to Seattle. We have our Kapanen move, our Brett Kulak move. Tom Wilson got dealt to Ottawa. Indeed, involving McMuffin and Koskinen and a first. Ryan Murray and TVR for a first. Yermo and a dude named Malkin. I have Follow and Holtby to Toronto for a first. Obstetric and a third. Jared McCann and Wedgwood to Arizona for a first, a second, and a prospect. Our Zimmer deal. Brent Burns got dealt from the Sharks to the Kings. Love to see that. Ryan Johansson to Florida for a prospect we were looking at. Montreal brought back Radulov just to trade him to New Jersey. And then you have our trades from before, including the Sidney Crosby deal, which breaks my damn heart. So our team then, for the rest of the season, it's going to look something like this. Blomqvist and Wolf in goal. The defense, Marino, Joseph, McIsaac, that's our defense right there. Perfect left D, right D split. And our AHL defense is going to be outrageous as if it wasn't already. And for the forwards, we have our 10, 11, and 12 with Vidicek and Zemmer, but we are going to send them down. So let's see. On the right-hand side, it's Kamel, Clark, Rosen, and Zemmer. Poulin and Gensel can play the other side. We should be okay for maneuverability. We're just going to go with the highest rated guys. So Vidicek and Zemmer will send down for Gruden and Harvey Pinard, and apparently I'd be under the cap. Do I have a roster spot available? Otherwise, I think I do, right? I should be at 49. I'm at 48. All right, so we need another cap whale. But I can't sign free agents at this point because LOL, even though that's not how that works. You could sign free agents. So our roster is what it is. I literally can't maneuver it in terms of sending people down. That's lovely. That's lovely. So yeah, we are in full tank mode. So let's just send up Gruden and Harvey Pinard. Can I send down Vidicek and Zemmer now? Nope. What about if I select the two of them and then try to bring up Pajaniemi's the oldest, right? Yeah. If I do that for Pajaniemi and Hollander. Nope. All right, cool. So Zimmer and Vidicek are just stuck on the team. Unless the idea of calling up Yandel helps, but I don't think it does. Pretty sure it doesn't work that way. No, okay, it will. Never mind. But then if I move Zemmer down, it freaks out. So what if we also bump up Ryan Reeves for Cohen Zemmer? Still shows this is barely having like a negligible difference in cap space. So we got Reeves and Yandel as scratches. 40A gets taken out, unfortunately. So we'll set up this team as best we can, but obviously it's not gonna matter too much now, is it? It's not really gonna matter. Man, Sam Poulin's happiness has taken a pretty big hit here. That has taken a pretty big hit indeed. I don't know how the hell we're going to solve the issue of the upset members of the fourth line, by the way. What the hell is the answer to that? When did Crosby retire? He didn't retire, but he has been traded per his request. Honestly, I think just the -1 on the fourth line is just going to have to be something that we put up with. It's just going to have to be something that we put up with. Like, we are pretty much resigned to the fact that the rest of the season we are going to be absolutely abysmal. It was honestly by design. So we'll just go best lines in the AHL. There's far too much to try and sort. Let's put on auto rotate, and we'll round out the season. But yeah, this is abysmal. We have hit phase 2 of our Penguins series. We won a cup with Crosby. Now, can we win one without him? Is the question. And needless to say, I'm not exactly holding my breath, as Jeff Carter is on waivers. Fuck it, let's claim Jeff Carter. We'll bring him back to this Pittsburgh tire fire. Oh my god, we're winning games. And now we're losing games. But the fact that I think we've won almost as many, we've won more games than we've lost since the deadline. Trying to tank, and we're going to screw ourselves. We're going to absolutely screw ourselves out of the #1 draft lottery odds, aren't we? How are we winning more games now? Are you fucking serious? What was our record since the deadline? Let's keep track here, shall we? Let's keep track. So, in terms of wins, Robin, thank you for the gifted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 wins. In terms of losses, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 4, 1. We went 14, 4, and 1 post-deadline. This game is fundamentally broken. This game is fundamentally broken. We went 14, 4, and 1 post-deadline. And finished 6th in the division when we tried to tank. 14, 4, and 1. With this fucking roster. Compared to what we had before. With Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Jason Zucker, Matt Duchene and company. Fucking hell. Blomqvist finished with a 9-12. That says everything you need to know about this game. That says everything you need to know about franchise. I love it in some ways, but in others, it is so fucking broken. Let's take a look to wrap up this season. Do we even want to do a punishment for this season? I still won't sign any scouts, but do we want to actually have a punishment? Because I'm sure we failed all 3 goals. I mean, obviously we didn't finish top 3 in our division, so that's a fail. And then we'll check power play and shit like that. But New York, New Jersey, Columbus, New York, and Washington all made the playoffs. And again, we finished above the Flyers in tiebreaker. In the Atlantic, it is Florida, Tampa, and Ottawa. Montreal was it? We were actually closer than Sid was to the playoffs. In the Central, Colorado, Arizona, Minnesota, Nashville, and Chicago. Punishment was to blow up the team. I don't disagree. And in the Metro, we already looked at, the Pacific is Edmonton, Anaheim, and Vegas, as Calgary, Seattle, and San Jose were all just tragic. So Edmonton wins the President's Trophy by 1 point over the Rangers. San Jose was the worst team in the league. Your punishment is to continue to be the GM. Fair. Goals for per game was not something we were looking at. Shockingly, we weren't at one of the extremes, either for better or worse. Goals against average. Also shockingly, we were somewhere in the middle. But we needed a top 15 power play. Did we get it? So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Son of a bitch, we can't even get a top 15 power play. Oh, we were a percentage off. We scored more goals than the Jets. Does that count? Are we going off a percentage of the most goals? Because if we go off of the most goals, I had a top 15. I'm not giving us a scout, but we're not doing a punishment. Top 15 power play. Screw your percentage. We did it. Fuck your percentages. I'll take a win where I can get it. It's debatable. I'm not going to hire a scout as a reward, but I'm not taking a punishment. No one judges off of goals. Everyone should judge off of goals. Fuck you. In terms of points this year, who the fuck cares? It's a total wash, but Jake Gensel had 71. Poulin 38, Kamel 38, Hirvonen with 23. Svechkov had 21 points at 29. What? He had 21 points in 29 games. Fortier had 20 and 61. Gruden had 19 and 21. Holy shit. 11 and 30 for Rosen and Yarventi. My God, Johnny Gruden and Fedor Svechkov. Congratulations. Defensively, that's why I don't want to get rid of Joseph, man. He's 25 and he put up 63 points. John Marino technically had a better season than he did last year. I don't know if that's enough to give him the X Factors back, but that was one of our things. It's like, hey, have a bounce back season. By his metrics, he bounced back. It's a career high in points for John Marino. So we'll see what the hell happens there. If I keep him, he gets the X Factors back. If I trade him, we keep the X Factors off and then give him the X Factors back when he's on his new team. So we'll figure out what the hell's happening with John Marino. Blomqvist and Wolf, neither's really good enough to be the full-time starter. Blomqvist has definitely won at least the backup job over Dustin Wolf, though. Now, last time we looked at stats, McDavid and Draisaitl tore the league to shreds, and they did exactly that. Connor McDavid, 121 points in 82 games. You have Draisaitl also up there, Panarin, Matt Boldy, Barkov, DeBrincat, McKinnon, Kucherov, and Ovi. Another 50-goal season. As McDavid and McDavid and Ovechkin were the only two to break 50 goals. Wahlstrom was up there. Daniel Sprong was up there. Pacioretty and Ricky Boma for the Oats. Assist King was Draisaitl. You had Kirby Dach up there, though. 9 and 59 for Chicago. Give him back and trade him. You've suffered enough. No, I'm not going to do that. Cale Makar had 106 points as a defenseman. Adam Fox had 98. Friedman. Fucking the curse of Mark Friedman. That's what this Penguins run will be remembered for. Jeannot wasn't up there, shockingly. At least not super far up there. Andre Miller had 25 goals. Jesus Christ, all of these goals. Mike Matheson scored 23 goals and had 4 assists. Maybe we wouldn't have traded you if you could have done that here. Jesus. Where the hell was Tanner Jeannot in terms of goals? He should be up there. He had 40 the year prior. Oh my God, maybe it's a good thing we didn't sign Tanner Jeannot. Tanner, I don't think I missed you. All right, Tanner Jeannot sucked. That's all you need to know. For goalies, the winningest was Spencer Knight in Florida. Shutout leader was Askarov with 10. Save percentage king. Elvis Merzlikins, but probably he had 26. Okay, I missed him then. Vasilevsky is probably going to win the Vezina. But save percentages were down this year across the board, which is really weird because, again, I didn't change anything about the scoring. And in the rookie race, Slavkovsky, Savoy, and Miroshnichenko were all neck and neck. Kamel finished top 6. He needed to be top 3. God, what a shit show of a season. So that is now 3 straight years without the playoffs. We're not going to have a defined punishment. I think our punishment's already been suited. I was hoping that today, right? Because here's what it was, right? Like, we stopped yesterday. And we joined today with free agency and said, hey, hopefully, maybe, possibly, potentially, things will go better. They didn't. And now we're in the exact same situation where it's like, well, hey, hopefully at the end of the offseason, we'll be looking good and we'll be looking better. I don't know what the answer to that will be, right? Like, goaltending-wise, Scrimes will be signed to his ELC, so he'll be the starter in the AHL next year. Shout out to Goodrow at a 923 for Wilkes-Barre. I think the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins have made the playoffs. But, you know, like, Scrimes will be there. We'll see what goalies might be there. Defensively, we don't know what we're going to do with Joseph and company. Like, there's a lot of guys in the mix now. I mean, look at this fucking defense in the AHL. There's a lot of guys in the mix. I don't know what that defense is going to look like. And then forward-wise, it's like all prospects and dudes. And we're going to have to decide which dudes are the right dudes. Because there's a lot of dudes. It's a lot of dudage. And if we look at pending free agents... Aho, Dubois, Line, Ehlers, Kotkaniemi. There's a lot of talent out there. It's going to be a lot of RFAs, too. So, we'll see what we do with forwards. Defensively, Ty Smith would be an RFA. Byram, Owen Power, Liljegren, We're going to have all the cap room in the world to make a play for certain people if they hit the open market. And maybe, just maybe, with how many good RFAs there are going to be, if any of them hit the market, we go for it, particularly if they're a goalie. But for today, I need to touch grass because this team's awful. It's ruining my life.